what I was thinking is I'll just show you a couple of the cool little concepts that I used in that solo. There's things all over guitarjams.com. I mean, basically everything in that solo I've taught that concept somewhere. Let me just show you some of my favorite things in there. The basic thing is it's in the key of A minor. So my outline immediately is the A minor pentatonic scale. And so I was using, and these are all on Guitar Jams, so I'm not gonna like, you know, take it all the scale shapes apart, but I'll say what they are. The A minor pentatonic scale, also with the blues note as a passing tone, so that's the 8th fret of the G. Same note is the 6th fret of the A. So we got that. We also got the extended scale, which it's all the same notes, but we're climbing up and down now. And I use that, you know, probably more than anything. It's like, you know, 3, 5, but 5's the root. 3, 5, 3, 5, slide up. You know, 5, 7, 5, 7, slide up. 8, 10, 8, 10, slide up. The other thing I was using was the A root extension. And these are things, like I said, I mean, I've emphasized a lot. So you got the root here on the 12th fret. The extension for this one, and this is still all the same scale, the A minor pentatonic scale. You know, you got 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, which is great. And check this out. Listen to the notes. Now watch this. Ooh, the exact same thing. Exact same thing in a different spot. Good to know. Slid up to 14, 12, 14, and with the A minor pentatonic with the root on the A string, looks a little different. We get the 13th fret on the B to 15, and then 12 to 15 on the high E. So there's one little part where I was like, very simple, just going down the scale on one string. And I slid that back. So knowing your minor pentatonic on one string, besides the extensions, is extremely helpful. Because what you can do is if, you know, I mean, just like anything, okay? So that's kind of the thought process behind it, but then I was using little elements of the modes, like the minor scale, but still thinking of the minor pentatonic. So instead of the 8th fret on the high E, you also have the 7th fret on the high E. So you can even bend that up a half step. And when I went to like the 4th fret on the high E, that's one little part that's out of the scale, and that is coming from actually what's called the harmonic minor scale. But I wasn't using that in the actual solo, just that classic. Okay. Now there was you know, lots of the climbing up and down. But then also, you know, something that I would recommend practicing all over your scales is this kind of thing, which I did in the solo. Great speed exercise for your alternate picking. And basically I was just going, you do it anywhere, any two notes. Just little rhythmic patterns, you know. But so I was going 8 to 10 on the B string. So I index on the 8th, picked, hammered, and then alternate picked. thing I did, and these are just like medium gauge strings on this acoustic, but on that B string, I was actually bending it a minor third. That's the root. I was bending it all the way up to the tone that would be on the 13th fret. It's really more of an electric lick, but to get that strength, besides practicing a lot, is, you know, think of your 3 fingers like glued together. So you're using the strength of 3 fingers together to bend the note up, not 1 finger. And it's really hard to do with 1 finger. All 3 of them planted down, glued together. Power of 3. Voltron. Read between the lines. No, just kidding. Alright, my finger's getting tired now. Okay. Now when I'm up in this zone where the root's on the A string there, I was doing a lot of stuff right here. So it'd be like 12, 14 on the D and 12, 14 on the G. You also have the blues note right here on the 13th fret of the D. 15 to 12 on the A. But lots of this little box stuff going to a double stop right here. 12th fret, 13th fret. And I find when you're doing acoustic guitar solos, double stops really are cool. I always try and get some kind of double, meaning like a 2-note thing. I always try and get some double stops in there, especially on acoustic. Actually, in general, you know, it's a great way to mix up single notes and double stops. And I kind of nudge my middle finger there. Not too much. Then another thing that I threw in there double stop wise is this is a nice little thing that's always going to work in your minor kind of setting. That double stop, we're going to follow the index finger down a whole step. And then my ring finger is going to go to the 12th fret of the B. So even if you're just jamming blues, gives you a more minor sound than blues, which we like. We like to mix all our tools up. Good news, we can just do the exact same thing a whole step down. Now we're going to track our index finger down a half step, and middle finger is going to go right there. So we've only used 2 different finger shapes. First shape again. Okay, now the next little spot, what I did in the actual solo was I didn't follow the scale pattern anymore. I did something like this, which is just totally improvised. And so what I did was I replaced my middle finger with my pinky and then moved my index back. So this note stayed and this one went from there to there. And this is kind of a little cool little thing. Gives you this like weird kind of suspended sound, and then I just went right back in my blues thing. But in a natural minor, you're going to go same thing. It just doesn't sound good in like a rock and roll setting, that particular one. Then you do this one again.